Welcome to the Port of Gothenburg. The Port of Gothenburg is a site of constant activity 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Ships arrive and depart, enterprises dispatch and discharge cargo. There is handling of containers and vehicles, pumping and storage of oil products, trucks and trains arriving and departing. Everybody working at the port is a link in the chain of different proceedings that make it possible for ships to call at the port and enable cargo handling. Owing to simultaneous operations involving several parallel processes and the work of many people, enterprises and authorities, the port is kept in constant functioning. To improve communications, the Swedish Maritime Administration and Port of Gothenburg have created the cooperation project Gothenburg Approach. One of the central aspects of cooperation has been to concentrate all units relevant for vessel traffic in the same location. Gothenburg Approach consists of the Maritime Administration's VTS Gothenburg and Pilot Request Center and Port of Gothenburg's Port Control.
Yes, VTS Göteborg ibland.
VTS Gothenburg stands for Vessel Traffic Service Gothenburg and supervises ships in the fairways. The Pilot Request Center is in charge of planning for vessels in need of pilot, and Port Control takes care of ships in the port territory. As they all now share the same location, several links in the communication chain can be operated faster, and in addition there are new opportunities for interesting ways of cooperation. Gothenburg Approach targets to facilitate the work of all operators in the port during a ship's call at the port. When ships call at the port, the Gothenburg Approach participates in several different proceedings, and a great deal of the information flow passes this way in one form or another. If several unforeseen events should occur in close succession, this may cause delays and affect the availability of mooring space, pilots, tugs and boatmen. In such cases, Gothenburg Approach comes to assistance by means of continuous supervision of port activities that enables fast coordination of all parties involved. More than 11,000 ships enter the Port of Gothenburg annually. It is important for each of them to enter the port as smoothly as possible and to have the cargo loaded and discharged in the best possible way. Every hour at the port is valuable, and also a small delay may prove expensive. Everything starts with the ship's arrival at the port. If the ship receives timely information about its expected time of arrival, the speed may be adjusted, and in many cases both the environmental impact and fuel expenses may be reduced. There are several other services that the ship may need during its call at the port. The services to a ship may consist of waste management, fresh water supplies, sludge or slop disposal, or land electricity that is available at some terminals. Furthermore, a lot of bunkering of ships is done in Port of Gothenburg and the surrounding fairwaters. The bunkering vessels operating in the fairwaters surrounding Port of Gothenburg have a special focus on security and environment, owing to the green bunkering concept and a modern bunkering fleet. A ship's agent represents the ship during its call at the Port of Gothenburg. Long before the ship's arrival, the agent has a contact with all involved parties in the port and always sends an application to port control via Gothenburg approach. The agent handles a lot of information about the ship and its cargo, also helping the ship with ship clearance, pilot dispatches, ordering bunkers, and rendering other services the ship may need. The agent needs information in order to forward it promptly and arrange the ship's call at the port to the best possible effect. The agent keeps close contact with Gothenburg approach, and in the course of smooth cooperation, information can be forwarded to the right recipients. This creates a steady platform for all the operators to handle cargo in the best way and avail the ship of efficient service during the call at the port. Many ships need a pilot for arrival at and departure from the port of Gothenburg. For larger vessels, 2 pilots are sometimes necessary. There are also many ships where the commander has a pilot exemption certificate. Before the pilot comes on board of a ship, he must have access to as much information as possible. It is especially important to have an accurate berthing plan informing which side the ships shall have alongside the quay, whether there are quay restrictions and if the ship has need of some special services during the call at the port. If the information about changes in the berthing planning is quickly forwarded to the Gothenburg approach, the tugs, mooring staff and the terminal can be informed, with the benefit of creating considerable opportunities for saving the environment and time. Tugs are requested by the agent or the commander well in advance before the ship's arrival. The required number of tugs is regulated both by the Swedish Maritime Administration and the regulations of the Port of Gothenburg, depending on the ship's size, the terminal where the ship is going to be moored, and the current weather conditions. All these circumstances in combination may cause a timely tug request to be altered both time-wise and concerning the number of tugs involved. When a ship is arriving at or departing from a terminal, it is necessary for the mooring staff to handle the lines, hawsers, sometimes with the help of 1 or more hawser boats. The task of the mooring staff are important for safe berthing as well as a safe departure. The boatmen are often ready and waiting, but even in these cases delays and accumulation of traffic may cause problems. The boatmen must be updated constantly about the ship's correct ETA or ETD, and this is often done in cooperation with Gothenburg approach. Should changes occur in a berthing plan, it is important to provide the mooring staff with accurate information as soon as possible in order to ensure a fast and secure berthing. In the port of Gothenburg, many different kinds of cargo are handled every day. Each terminal has its own specific proceedings for loading and discharging cargo. The terminal draws up a berthing plan and submits it to Gothenburg approach for checking and forwarding to pilots and boatmen. Gothenburg approach is fully dependent on smooth cooperation with all of the port's terminals. The port's cargo flow is not limited to the ships and the terminals. The chain of transport extends far outside the port premises, up to the final destination of the cargo or down to the dispatching enterprise. This is why the cargo handling on the terminal premises is of utmost importance. Thus, the terminals play a very important part in creating efficient procedures during a ship's call at the port. The flow of information to and from terminals concerning the cargo and the possibility of keeping to its planned loading and discharging times is of the highest priority in any terminal of the port. Should any changes occur in planning, Gothenburg Approach is prompt to come to assistance and do their best to facilitate the forwarding of information without delay. Every year, about 250,000 calls are made at the port, including the large vessels, the passenger traffic of Älvsnabben, fishing and pleasure boats passing the port, as well as the Vänern traffic passing the whole port area up to the mouth of the Göta River. All this in an environment of great natural beauty, which we have a joint responsibility to protect. Everybody working at the port is a link in the chain creating the integral process of a call to the port. Enhancing the efficiency of the whole chain of proceedings, we create a platform for future improvement. At every entry to the port, there are many minutes to be saved. Over a whole year, both environmental and economic efficiency could be improved significantly. Fast and accurate communication between the different parts links the proceedings efficiently. By establishing the Gothenburg Approach, the Port of Gothenburg and the Swedish Maritime Administration wish to shape a smooth information channel beneficial to all concerned. Competent interaction and constant improvements help us to create the preconditions for an efficient, powerful and sustainable hub of Scandinavian seaborne traffic in Gothenburg.